in your ear. You're gonna have to say yes to it, by the way.
I have to say yes? Oh, yeah. I'll say yes. Oh my God, why is everything dysfunctioning today? Coming.
So Mish helps edit lots of these, so no jokes about Michelle or me.
Okay, got it.
I'm joking.
Oh no, it's worse now, right? It was better with the other light.
I can hear you as well as I did a second ago. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't. Oh my
So
God.
you look great. It's fine.
I'm a disaster.
I think you're fine. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, except my AirPods aren't connecting, but whatever.
Why don't you connect them?
I did, but it's not working.
You sound
It's fine.
perfect. I don't know if it's, do you want to try putting one in, not in? I'm gonna make it full screen because I want to see side by side.
Okay, hold on. Is this enough light? Do you want more light?
Oh no, you got tons of light.
I do?
Yeah, how do I make myself side by side again?
What episode number am I?
You're actually, no, that's not what I want.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
This is not how I wanted. I wanted it, you and I.
Do you know?
Share screen. Multiple participants share screen simultaneously. Is that it? No. What did I advanced sharing options? Only one? No, I don't want
Oh, here we go. What is this? No, I want.
You want, I want. Hold
No,
on.
they had this great feature, but it's gone.
I don't know why you're not view, show participants. Did you just? No, that's not what I want.
Should I go black and white?
I know you can change your colors. I want to get you all over the screen. What are you doing?
How about that? Okay, wait. I'm gonna do.
There we go. I don't know what I just did, but it's.
Oh man, they had this nice filter where you had smooth skin, but they took it out. Stupid Zoom.
Stupid soon.
Okay,
Are
hold
you
on.
almost ready?
Yeah, you were the one that wasn't ready.
I'm ready. I've been sitting here waiting for Mrs. Sophia Jurksztowicz.
Hold
I even
on.
have my notes out. I'm all ready and cut. We're on.
What notes do you need of me?
Well, I'm actually going to go through something today that I don't really have. Can you hear me all right, by the way?
Yeah.
First
You mind this
first-
this tree? We were gonna clean it up today, but we didn't. Is everything fine? Are we good?
You look great. You look spectacular. The tree looks spectacular. I like on one side, you have the Christmas tree on the side. On the other side, you have your booze.
Booth.
Two
Okay, so
things that I love. And that, boom, you're right in the middle. Yep, perfect. Everything's awesome. So
Okay.
if there's obviously a lot of the social media, TV medias have all kind of switched and gone in different directions over the last couple of years for different reasons. Some of them have been influenced by greatness of other people that are coming up the ranks. Other have been kind of outside influences. So I want to touch stuff on that in a bit before I talk about how amazing you are. But women in sports and the sacrifices and routes that you had to go to or get through to get to where you are today. So that's where we're going to get to. Before,
Okay.
let's talk about how great Sophia Jurksztowicz is. By the way, I saw a segment. I don't know who you did it with. Was it with the NHL when you had people try and pronounce your name?
yeah, that was with the Bruins. That was my intro video to the team. That was pretty good, right?
So Sophia and I worked on Hockey Night in Canada together years ago, and I got fired, and now she's head of Bruins Nation.
I got fired too, though.
Yeah, but you got fired for bigger and better things. I'm in my basement with my beer fridge behind me, which is
Yeah, that's true.
completely
That's
different.
true. I had a glow up.
Yes. Can you spell your name for everybody?
JURKSZ TOWICZ or JURKSZ TOWICZ. I'm used to saying Z now, being in the States. It's really weird. I feel unpatriotic, but whatever. It's Z or Z. That's my name. There you go.
No, but I'm going to put it up on the screen later, but it's JURKSZ TOWICZ.
Yes, correct.
Polish, obviously. It just makes no sense. It just
Well,
makes no sense. And it's funny because I've always just Sophia, but when I actually go down and try and break down your whole name, it's a work. And I understand why the Bruins guys suffered a little when I saw it. Three brothers, one
Paige,
sister. What? Go ahead.
Paige, I was asked to change it. Do you want to hear that story or another
No,
day?
no, yeah, this is your show. I'm just
This is
happy
my
to have you
show.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I worked at the Score, by the way, fantastic company. So this isn't a knock to, it happened when I was at the Score, but one of the producers there, I was just starting to maybe dabble with on air. And he was like, I don't know if Jurksztowicz is going to work.
Yes.
Maybe like, something, I don't remember what they were pitching, but like shortening it or just making it more like palatable or whatever the word is, making it more just easy to pronounce. And you and I we've been friends for a while. Like, what my dad means to me, right? Like everything. And I was like, wait, are we allowed to swear on this podcast?
Fuck no.
Oh, okay. All right. I won't.
So I had Biz on to start off, and I said, Biz, like, well, I'm gonna go through rapid fire later on. And he was like, what's the one thing that I like, what's one of the hidden things that you love to do that you just can't stop doing? He's like smoking weed and swearing. And it's like he set the bar, so now you're more than welcome to just knock it out of the park.
Okay. Well, I'll ease into it, but I was like, no way. Like, no way. My dad.
Hold on. That's your swearing. Did you just ask to swear and drop a no way?
I decided to change my mind because I represent Nesson. Maybe yes. I'll get in there, but like I'll ease into it. Okay. Give me a sec.
Sure.
But no, yeah, I was like, no way. My dad is the only reason I know anything about hockey. Like sports. He's taught me everything. He's taken me, to games, explained things to me. He learned hockey. He learned English by watching hockey when he immigrated and it became his favorite sport. But my dad taught me everything. He pushed me to be here, obviously with my mom's support. And I'm just about to like launch and I'm going to change from Sophia Jurksztowicz. And he's so proud watching me to like Sophia Jones when he's the reason I got here. Like, no,
that was close. That was close to a swear.
So I kept it. And like, obviously I'm really glad. I think I don't think anyone cares. And every conversation starts out this way. What's your last name? How do you pronounce that? Blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of followed me everywhere, but I mean, I think it's good. Wouldn't you be sad if your kids changed their name and, like one of them became a hockey player and they're like, yeah, I'll just change it to something else. No chance.
My name's cool. Way different.
Yeah, yours. I know it's a little different.
It's so different. No, but actually, what's funny? Like you're saying that, but there's so many actors and actresses, and I don't know about musicians as well. We don't know what their real names are, but we've been told or heard what their real names, like Lady Gaga. I don't think that's
I don't think that's her
real name. I'm just throwing that out there. No, but they're like Tom Cruise. It's not Tom Cruise. It's Tom. Not? No, I don't think so. There's a lot of them that they've changed up a lot of their names. And you know what? I thought I should have been more prepared because I didn't know you were going to throw me for this, but there's a whole bunch of actors and actresses that have changed their names or entertainers because of that exact reasoning that, man, mind you, Jurksztowicz, like I have a knee brace, not on right now, but I hurt my knee. And when I wear it out, it was a great conversation starter. So is Jurksztowicz. Jurksztowicz is a great, like at parties, it could be a drinking game. Like, put shots out, right? And how far you get through the name, you have to drink the remainder shots, or how many mistakes you get.
Dude, that's such a great idea. I've never even decided. My name has been a pain in the ass as much as I didn't want to change it for
Nesson, she said
35 years.
Nesson, she said ass.
We're turning it into a drinking game. I actually should make some like profit or something off of this, but no, I mean, do you think I should have? Because would have done wonders for me, or is this good?
No, your dad is. So when we work at Hockey Night in Canada, Hockey Night in Canada is in Toronto. It's in the CBC building and on Front Street, Wellington combined, right in the middle there. And it's a lot of people that want to come through, hockey fans or attached to our building. Attached to our building? No, it's not attached to our building. Sorry, I was going to say Hall of Fame building. No, it's not. It's a couple blocks down. Yeah, a couple blocks down. But just it's the Blue Jays play right around the corner. It's kind of downtown, right in the middle of everything. So a lot of people come through the CBC building, and a lot of people come by and they see Sophia there, and they're like, "Hey, Sophia, you're the best." Blah 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 blah. And I'm standing right beside her. They don't even wave to me whatsoever. But nonetheless, that hasn't. No. But the only thing I was going to say is they all brought up your dad. Like so many people.
That's
So many
right.
people that have come through that building or worked with us or worked in the building have mentioned that your dad has influenced them in some way or another. And the one thing to honor him is to carry on his name. So I love
Yeah.
the fact that you said ass. That was so gangster of you to say ass. I'm not changing my name. So hell you. Yes,
You're
you.
so right. And just before we get off
Next
this
time
topic,
say fuck off, buddy. I'm not changing my name. Why don't you change your face?
yeah, we get off this, it's so true. I think because of my name, when I get DMs from people or whatever, I would still say a majority of them are people who were my dad's students, and he was a high school math teacher that were like, your dad changed my life. Like, your dad was the greatest teacher, the greatest person I ever met. It was one of those teachers that just changed people's lives. Jeff Merrick was his student. Jeff Merrick, a friend of ours. And yeah, no, it means a lot to me, and they would never know that if I didn't keep the name. So what up, Dad? Jurksztowicz, let's keep it.
So three brothers, a sister. You go to Ryerson University. Of course, she represents Spoon Nation right now. Does sideline the stuff for actually. What is the actual title of what you do now?
That's a good question. My main job is Bruins rinkside reporter and host. I'm hosting now, not even half, no, like, I don't know, 30% of pre and post game shows with Dale Arnold, who's been amazing to me and been in this industry forever in Boston, a very recognizable name here. Yep. But so sideline, ringside reporter and host, and then the off season I do other things as well. I actually got here 4 months before the pandemic hit, so I've never had a normal year since I've come to Boston. So it's very unusual, but let's just say mostly Bruins work, anything related to Bruins. And then in the off season, I'll dabble in news with, Red Sox, Celtics, Patriots, whatever else is going on here.
So from Ryerson,
yeah,
that's where you are now. You've been an on-air talent, journalist, producer, host, reporter. You've pretty much done it all to get to where you have gone to. And that's where I want to tap into this. And this is where I love your honesty and your attitude towards it. There's been a lot of obstacles and a lot of, I don't know if the term is sexism, but there's a lot of things that it's crazy when I was going through, I'll get to it in a bit, but all these sites, which I couldn't believe it when I looked it up because I know everything about you, but I wanted to get some dirt on you, but I was almost disgusted by all the sites that they talked about you. Then they break down like your physique and all this other stuff that is, I want to get to that. But first off, let's talk about how you got to where you are today. Went to Ryerson, and this is something you wanted to do when you were younger, or?
Yes. Yeah. No, I wanted to do this. There is home video that I didn't know existed, but we moved a few years back. My family did, and my parents did rather. And, we're unpacking, packing, whatever. So we're looking at home video, laughing. And I had no idea. Like, this to me, I had already, I think, I'd already been on air for a few years. So I'd done, I'd kind of gotten to where I wanted to go, but not all the way. And I knew I wanted to do this in high school. I remember there was a course that the Canadian government enforced. It was called like careers or something like that. And it was like half a semester where you plan out your future and your career. And I remember writing like, I want to be a sports journalist. And it actually, I liked that course, but whatever. That's when I thought it kind of hit me. But we were watching home video, and there's a shot of me at like 6, which I still had a lisp. I couldn't say S's properly. And my dad's filming me on our like shaky camera. And I'm at a desk, like at his desk, and I'm writing stuff. And he keeps asking me like, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? And I'm like, almost, Dad, almost. And then finally he's like, are you ready? I'm like, yep. And I have this like little skirt on, and they come in front of the camera, and behind me is a TV, a tiny, by the way, 70-inch TVs. We don't need too big, but whatever. Side note, it was like what, a 16-inch tiny little TV
Totally
beside me, and standard def. And I have like this script. I'm 6. Like, I don't know what I wrote, but I was doing Hockey Night in Canada highlights. And I was like, hi, welcome to Hockey Night in Canada. It was Saturday, and a Hockey Night in Canada was on. I said, I'm Sophia Jurksztowicz. And I said, and by the way, it's funny that I knew this, but my script, I remember laughing my ass off. I thought that, oh my God, what's his name? Eric Lindros. I was like, Eric Lindros and the Edmonton Oilers, like he didn't play for the Oilers.
No,
it was
so
so funny.
So
I was just,
but you keep going. You're doing well. You're doing well.
I was 6. Okay. I took any hockey player's name I knew, any team I knew, and I like put them together and made up highlights. I was like, he shoots and he scores. And
can we get this?
I'm trying to find it again. I have been
I need
dying to
this.
find
No,
it because
I need this.
it would be a great clip, wouldn't it?
Totally.
But yeah, no, so I was really young. I wanted to do this. And so anyway, I was sitting with my dad and I'm like, what? Like, how old am I here? And I said, since when was I doing this? And he's like, so I don't know why. I have 3 sons, not interested in hockey, none. And he's like, ever since you were little, like 3 years old, you wouldn't go to bed. Like you wanted to watch hockey instead of going to bed. So I would let you fall asleep on the couch with me watching hockey. And he's like, I don't know why. I try to get my boys into it. And he's like, but you just, ever since you were little, you loved hockey. And there you go. And he's like, yeah, you've been, practicing since you were a little kid. So that was a moment for me when I was like, because this industry is tough, where I was like, shit, like I did really want this. This was a dream.
Nesson, we're up to shit and ass now, Nesson.
I said I'm working my way up.
I know.
And I'm choking.
It's okay.
So yeah, did that answer your question? But yeah,
No,
I've wanted to do it forever.
Didn't, but is that okay? Was that your favorite sport growing up then? Was it hockey?
Hockey and tennis, because my family couldn't afford to put me in hockey. They couldn't afford to they had 5 kids and my dad worked like 5 jobs and my mom too. So, the grind of like taking your kids to the rink. So I free skated all the time, but I was never part of an organization. Shinny, that's about it. But tennis was something that they could put me in. And, I loved that. So those 2 and baseball, but baseball was 3rd.
So you go to Ryerson and that's where it kind of starts. That's after coming out of your Eric Lindros playing for the Edmonton Oilers, scores a big goal tonight. You decided that you're going to follow that career path. Well, because it was close enough and Ryerson decided to let you in because of that. You're like, you know what? It's close enough.
I tried.
It tried. She tried. Let's bring her in, throw her in there. So Ryerson. And now what was your goal coming out of Ryerson? And how many, if you don't mind me asking, I am asking, so I don't care, but I am asking because I'm going to just be nice about it. How many women to men were there in those classes?
2 women, I don't know, 25 men in specifically sports. So when everything changed in 2012, 13, 14. I graduated in 2010, went to school in 2005. I changed degrees, but anyway, Ryerson was radio and television arts. So it was editing, filming, writing, script writing, music production, everything. And there was one course in a 4-year program called Sports Broadcasting 101. And there was one course for sports. And now there are entire schools in Canada, as you know, dedicated to sports broadcasting. And there were 2 women, myself and this girl named Margot, who actually, I believe, still works at Sportsnet as a producer. But Margot and I wanted to do it. And that's it. And 30 guys.
Were you, again, I don't want to say it. I can say it however I want to you, but if anybody reads this, or hears this, I don't want to take it in the wrong way, but my English isn't always my strongest. Were you laughed at? Were you disencouraged? Were you poked fun at? Were you
in school? No. Some of the guys in high school, I remember telling
that's because the way you dressed. I've seen some pictures from the way you dressed in high school.
I should send you one of those pictures.
Yes.
Yeah. Like rocker belt.
Yes.
Necklaces,
we had some issues there. We had some issues, but you're better today. But go ahead. So were you like, was it any kind of stereotypem, sexism? Was there any towards you? No.
Not in my classes. I had good guys that I'm still friends with to this day, collaborating with them. But I had good guys that, supported me in that. But in high school, I was made fun of. They're like, you're never going to be a sports broadcaster. What do you know? Or chicks don't do that. Even my teacher laughed, my math teacher. He was like, okay, nice idea. I'll see you when you talk to me in 10 years. Let me know how that goes. So yeah, in high school, but then in my courses, no, I had good peers there.
Today, then, let's just jump forward to today. You've gone through all the routes, worked at Hockey Night in Canada. By the way, who's your favorite person you ever worked with? Answer this correctly, because the rest of this can go a different way.
Honestly. There are a few that are to this day are my homies, so to speak, that I'm still friends with.
Answer this correctly.
Peach. You're top five. You're top five. You are
Top
one of
five.
Yeah.
Top five.
I
I'm
can't.
allowed to swear ass. Top five. Nesson, she said ass and she said shit, and you're gonna get a whole tape of this thing. Crying out loud.
Oh,
Jones, Sophia Jones.
You're top five. You're top five.
Best interview you've interviewed a person, or like, okay, you can go back all the way through school, because when I actually started, I finished. This is not about me, but I'm done talking about you and your Christmas tree and alcohol behind you. But I was when I finished playing hockey, the NHLPA puts on these programs, and one of them was kind of sports broadcasting. And I went to Quinnipiac University, where they kind of, it was kind of a crash condensed course where they kind of teach you a little bit, which there's so much going on. It's like this, when I went to Italy, we did like 19 places in like 10 days, and it's one of the most beautiful countries in the world. But when it's done, you're like, I don't remember where we went, what we just did, because it was kind of like that class. It was like you took so many things so quickly, but the tail end of the 3-4 days of learning all this stuff, all the things that you guys might have learned over a semester, we learned, and it ends with going to a New York Mets game, and we had to interview players on the field.
Oh, and what? In school?
It wasn't in school. They were just professional hockey players that went on the field with a microphone after and said, like, hey, can we interview you? And that is one of the hardest skills ever to do. So you have good moments and bad moments. I get nervous at some stuff. I'm not a great interviewer. Like, I'm not when it comes to, here's a microphone and I have to ask you 2 questions. And obviously the second question depends on how you respond to the first question. But it's just, I remember that day just being so, like great ones. There's been good ones. Like, obviously this is going to be at the top of the list, actually 6th, but just outside of top 5. But but has there been good ones or bad ones? Like, has there been?
There have been a ton of bad ones. But by the way, you are a great interviewer, just not short. Like, there's no way you can do 3 questions and out. Like, you would just tank right away because you talk so much. But but that's what makes you awesome, and this stuff's good. But yeah, no, of course there have been bad ones. There's one that went viral with like Sean. Oh God, Sean Corrali. I asked him. It was a stupid question, but. Okay, by the way, people who are armchair quarterbacks and watch, interviewers, and they are like, that was a stupid question, like, ask them this. Yeah, sometimes as a fan, you think you can work with an organization. I work with the Bruins. You can't, you have to maintain a relationship long-term with these people. So if someone has a really bad game, you can ask questions that highlight, like, what happened, what went wrong. But a lot of these people, like, on TV are like, that was fucking stupid, and you're not going to
F-bomb in there. Nesson should ask F-bomb.
You have to bleep these out.
I'll use it if that's it. I'd bleeps in just every now and then, just so people think you're swearing at different moments.
Hey, that's like a Jimmy Kimmel, I think. Thing. But anyway, yeah. So the Bruins had like 8 shots on net through 2 periods or something.
Yeah.
And so my question to Sean was like, how do you guys get more shots on net? Which was like pretty stupid. I could have probably worded it differently. And he looked at me and he was like, to get shots on net, you have to shoot the puck. And to shoot the puck, you have to take your stick on the ice, put it by the puck, and move it. That's how you get shots on net. You take it, you shoot it, whatever. And he wasn't making fun of me. He was just so frustrated with how the team was playing. Yeah. And he's like, anyway, that kind of went viral, and everyone's comments were like, you ask stupid questions, you get stupid answers. So I've had a few of those, but to me, that's like, I don't care. Like, I have to be better, but I'm not like upset about what people think about it. But and a couple times when I was younger, actually, when I was still in scrums and, interning and not getting paid, I remember asking Tim Thomas a bad question, and Pete, I don't think I've ever told you this story. I was in a scrum and we'll get to this, very intimidated still, like one of 0, maybe one of 2 women in a locker room with like, 25 beat writers and digital people and whatever. And some of these guys have been around forever, and I'm little, and they're pushing you out, boxing you out. And it's like very intimidating. But I remember one time like pushing through, and I asked Tim Thomas about his shutout. He had a shutout. And I got the number wrong. I was quickly looking at like the game sheet they handed out after a game. And this is before you could like quickly look it up on your phone. They would pass around game sheets. And so I looked in the wrong column, and I was just about to ask him. And I was like, it was your blah, blah, blah shutout of your career, something. And he stopped. I don't know how well you know him, but he stopped the press, the scrum, and he was like, no, 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 no. He's like, if you're gonna ask me a question about my shutout, you better get that stat right, because I have this many shutouts in my career. I have a watch that commemorates my 25th, blah, 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 blah. Pulls out the watch, goes into, I'm not kidding. Like, no, pulls out the watch from his like bag, hockey bag, shows it to me. And he's like, so next time you ask me a question, you better get the stats right. And I was on like 2 years on the job, maybe still an intern. I wasn't getting paid. I like cried about it for a year. Like I was so scared to ask a question. I don't think I spoke for a year because I was second guessing everything that was coming out of my mouth. That was a really tough moment, but
so what was what's the moment that had you pivot out of that?
I think time. And I don't remember particularly ever being like, okay, today's the day you're going to ask again. But I think I remember being like, if you want to do this job, you have to get over it. You have to get over it. And
was there any comments? So if any comments from the peanut gallery that you don't know anything because you're a woman? That doesn't come out right, but you know what I mean?
No, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm just
like,
trying to get to like, I just, you see it. And because I'm a guy, I work for them in Montreal a lot with RDS, and we have Chantal Maccabee for those that are listening. She just got the job for the PR for the Montreal Canadiens. She's been doing it for 32 years with RDS, and she's amazing. But she tells me about some of her stories when she first started, of a lot of the meanness that comes out of people sometimes, especially when it's a woman asking questions in an environment that used to be dominated by men. And women, and then you ask a question and you get it wrong. And not only do you have the player kind of correcting you, and maybe he took it the wrong way, and maybe he was that way. But do you feel the eyeballs from the men, and do you feel that they are ready to say something or thinking something in the back of their head, or no?
Yeah, no, I did for sure, for most of my career, which is now spanned about like 17 years, because I started when I was very young. I started when I was like
6. You were 6.
Yeah, when
so
I was
now,
6.
Yeah. So now that you're 23.
But I mean, being in the locker room, it's kind of crazy because I'm 35. But I started when I was like 18 or 19 as an intern. But anyway, so back then, absolutely. But what I do remember when it changed for me, I was working at Sportsnet in the newsroom and writing. I was on air, but also writing scripts and doing all this stuff. And I remember working around a bunch of guys, many of them who've become my best friends, and they were making mistakes, and they were admitting they didn't know things. And that was like, that weight off of your shoulders was the greatest thing I've ever purged, because walking into that industry, I felt like, and talk to other women about this, you have to know everything all the time. Otherwise, one little error and you're like discredited for life. But then I started realizing, wait a minute, my peers are guys.
Guys don't know jack shit either.
They don't. No. Exactly. And I was like, why the hell am I putting all this pressure on myself? I didn't play hockey. I didn't play in the NHL, duh. But I think about like someone like you played in the NHL, and working with someone like you, it's like, okay, I respect and I understand that. But a lot of these writers, which I used to be so intimidated about, they don't even know how to skate. So it's like, why the hell am I?
Drop it, Soph. Drop it. You can. Drop it, Soph. Drop it like it's Soph. Drop it. Come on, Soph.
Sorry, this is so PG, but like, dude, I work for Ness and I gotta be good. But you know what I mean? Like, a lot of these guys are like overweight and don't know how to skate, and they're in scrums asking hockey related questions. Why do I care about what they think when they haven't played in the game? Being around someone like you, absolutely, or a former hockey player, absolutely. But with these some of them clowns, it's like, why are you intimidating me? Why are you making me feel stupid when you haven't even picked up a hockey stick in your life? So I got over it pretty quick after that.
That's awesome. Good. That's the right attitude. That's completely the right attitude. And it's kind of, I feel the same way at times, which is funny because I've played and now I'm on the media side, and yet I have media people poking fun at me for things. And I'm like, Soph didn't want to say this, but I'll say who the fuck are you to tell me or say something about me? what the fuck do you know? And
Yeah.
where is your opinion coming from? So
Yeah.
I have no problem if they say it the way they phrase it. This is my only thing. I have an opinion. I never say something's right or wrong. The
Hmm.
only thing that I really say that people could do better or work is their work ethic. And there's
Hmm.
moments of it all over the ice. And whether it's shot blocking, getting to a lane, how you back check, although I never say skills or offense or, I give thoughts of maybe how this could work better, but I never critique it. I critique
Hmm.
people that are lazy or whatever. And if you go back on my career, which, I never, I, I played, I didn't play as like a Wayne Gretzky, but I could say it from experience from being around other people. When I say it and people don't like my opinion, there's a way of phrasing how they don't like my opinion. The problem
Yeah.
is with the world today, they all want you to have an opinion as long as it's the same as theirs.
Oh, I know.
So
Oh,
the
I know.
moment you have one that's not theirs, then they start knocking you. And the problem
Hmm.
is about them knocking me, they better have the same fucking credentials as me if they're going to
Hmm.
be saying that. Because I'm just throwing, I'm throwing opinions out. I'm not saying this is it, this is how it has to be. I just an opinion. And if as long as he just says in response to it with oh yeah, maybe this, I don't think that, maybe, but if they're like, you're completely wrong, my opinion's right, that's where I kind of say, fuck off. And that's the mentality that I take sometimes. And you almost have that in your head. And I know you don't want to swear because Nesson is listening. Big Brother's listening, but
Yeah.
you have to have that. And
No,
you have to have that.
absolutely. And that was like I think that's when my career changed. That's when my attitude and energy about it changed, because I started to have this like swag. I'm like, hey, I've worked my ass off. I know the game. I haven't played it, but I know the game pretty
Sure.
well. I know it's not just, also, by the way, this. You can be an absolute genius in something, but then you don't have the other skills about presenting and broadcasting or writing or producing. So this is not just like a one. This is there's a reason there are stats people or analytics people, because they're really good at that, but they wouldn't be good at speaking on television or radio or whatever. So it's like you have this knowledge. And as a journalist, for instance, I was sent by the CBC to cover the world championships of swimming and diving. I've never done that, but I spent a month with an excellent producer, buried in work, buried in video, buried in stories, and like she'd been covering it, the producer, for 15 years, getting that knowledge and learning about it. And that's the job of a journalist. If you're a news journalist, you're going to be put on an assignment, and today it's going to be about this protest, and tomorrow it's going to be about why apples are all of a sudden bad for you or whatever. I'm making that up. And you don't know everything, but your job is to ask the right questions and do the research. And so I just started to apply that and be like, hey, I have this base. I'm good at talking to people. I'm good at forming relationships. I've been in this industry for a long time. I'm not going to let anybody intimidate me into being lesser than, because it's just hurting me. And you have to be humble about it, which I think I have been. And I really try to be around, like I said, the people that I really respect in this industry, especially those who have more knowledge and more seniority than me, not just former hockey players, but writers who've been doing it longer. But as if someone's being like an asshole or like rolling their eyes when you're asking a question like that, Peach, I gotta say, it's the most freeing thing. I don't give a flying, you know what, about it
Oh,
at all anymore. And I own it, and it feels good.
you were close. Is USA market different than Canada?
Yeah. Yeah. It's very different. Um, hmm. It's the USA market. I was actually having this conversation with a producer the other day. It's just like it's funny. Yesterday, the Bruins were playing the Canadians, and a few times during the game, they were chanting USA, USA. And I was telling my camera guy, and I said, look, I love the States, but as Canadians, we have this stereotype of you guys being like cocky and like USA's the best and like don't mess with us. And I was like, these are the moments when it's true. It's just like kind of hilarious where you're chanting USA. It's just so funny to me. But they have this like,
And other players are from like David Pasternak, they're
yeah,
Bergeron and Marchand from
yeah.
Canada. Tuukka Rask is from Finland. Finland, yeah, like their entire group is made from everyone. But yeah, but still, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's so funny. But there's this like arrogance that I used to think was like off-putting as a Canadian, but it's actually awesome where it's like we're
Oh,
the best.
yes.
And there's this like freedom, which I don't want to get into right now,
Right.
but
Not a
seeing
good
how
time.
things are being handled in
Yeah.
Canada with COVID versus here, that's a whole other story. But I'm
Yeah.
feeling this like
You don't want to touch
freedom.
you don't want to touch politics or religion?
We
None of
can if you want, but I don't think that's the audience here.
no.
Um,
It's so
this,
true. Like, so my favorite is, it's obviously New York is the tipping point when it comes to that in Canada. Sorry, in North America, because if you're a New Yorker, there's New York, and
yeah,
then there's New York State, and then
yep,
there's the USA, and everybody else is a third world country after that. Like,
yeah.
that's kind of the breakdown of how it goes. And I just love the mentality for that, because they're uber proud, and it's some of my favorite stuff is USA movies, and I know they're movies, but I love Lone Survivor. I've seen it 19 million times. A
Okay.
Mark Wahlberg movie, Afghanistan, but just that and you go back, you'll start seeing this in a bunch of other movies, but every time the American militia or army or Navy SEALs go over and get into one of their bullets kills a guy instantaneously all the
Oh
time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But they can take on 50 bullets and keep going. Like, it's like they just keep going.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That's so America. But
I love it.
on that note, they're also like, we have to be the best. You need more money, we have it. You need, whatever fancy thing, we got it. We're going to be the best, the most entertaining, the biggest, the brightest, the most fireworks. Whereas in Canada, it's kind of like, oh, like, hey, we're pretty good, but like, we're humble, don't worry about it. It's just it's quite different. And I'm actually stealing the lines of this producer at TNT that they were doing the game, so I ran into him and I was talking to him, but he was like, he used to work in Canada. He's like, in Canada, I was like, hey, can I have $100 more to like update this camera? And they're like, yeah, sorry, it costs money. And he's like, in the States, they're like, what do you want? We don't care what it is. You need $3 million to your budget. We got it. And it's just like, they want to be bigger and better. And it's very different. If you haven't lived on both sides of the border, it's hard to explain, but I know you get it.
So how do you deal with hecklers?
Hecklers?
Have you ever had any?
Not really. Like I do. I mean, you get the odd person who's like their Twitter is like an egg or whatever it's called. The avatar is like an egg, whatever.
Yeah.
Being like, you're an idiot. But no, I really don't. And I'm very blessed. I don't know why, but I get very, very, very little hate. However, I will tell you a really funny story. It's really funny. This is way before I even worked at CBC, but I put out a tweet, and you got to be careful what you put out.
No,
but I wasn't
shit.
thinking. I was like 24. I put out a tweet where Andy Petrillo was working at CBC Hockey Night in Canada. I was like, I loved hockey, so I watched it every Saturday. I think I was still working at Starbucks, paying for school. But anyway, I put out a tweet, and they have the jib shot, right?
Yep.
And they do it every single time for like 2 years, whatever, the year I was watching. Andy Petrillo comes on in intermission. They do the jib shot from behind, and then they wrap around. It's like a nice wrapping shot, but they do the jib shot from behind, and then they get her, on camera. One day she was off, and Rob Pizzo, also a mutual friend, was filling in. No jib shot. I swear to God. And so I was like, I didn't know any of the producers were all our friends now, but I was like, they're doing that jib shot to show her butt. Like that's what I thought. I was like, to show off her legs and her butt. And I was so offended. And I was like, what the hell? So I wrote CBC not doing the jib shot, this nice sweeping shot. I go, CBC not doing the sweeping shot when Rob Pizzo's on. I wonder why. I don't know if that's true, but I was
because
like,
Pizzo has a bad ass. Because I know Rob's got to get in the gym a little bit more. He's got to add a little bit more to the junk in the trunk's just not there with Pizzo.
Well, they skipped it, dude. And
yeah, I would too.
Yeah, so you would too. So I wrote that, and I had a couple of people write back like, "A sweeps," like as I said, sweeping shot, and they're like, "Hey sweeps, who do you think you are? The only thing a woman should be doing in sports is sweeping or like cleaning up or something like in the kitchen, blah blah blah." And I actually ended up chirping back, and we ended up being really good friends, which is so funny. Like the relationship, it's like online friends, but I chirped them back so hard that they kind of started laughing because I was making fun of them and their tweets and their avatar, like defending myself. And we just started laughing and being like, this is hilarious. So we kind of like buddied, and they apologized. They're like, hey, years later when I was on air, they're like, hey, sorry, like we shouldn't have said that about women like sweeping. And I was like, yeah, you shouldn't have. But it was kind of funny, and it became this like weird online friendship where we just chirped each other. Yeah, other than that, Peach, I don't really get that many hecklers.
So one thing, so if I was reading up on you, obviously I trying to find some extra dirt. I didn't have to write down any questions because I knew you'd just go for hours and swear all kinds. Don't worry, I won't tell Nesson too much. But one of the things that kind of, bothered me actually, because I know you, and I love you, and it's kind of, I'm reading all this stuff about you, and I never really have gone on to kind of do extensive research on you because I
Right.
know so, but it's
Right.
like, yeah. So a lot of them, it's like you go, I put in your name, Sophia Jurksztowicz, by the way, again, a drinking game that's going to be coming out of this, but it's Sophia Jurksztowicz. And then there's a whole bunch of obviously things that pop up. There's all these pictures, there's all these videos, and but then there's also all these put it in this information on her. And the things that popped up is, a bunch of them, they give you like description. Your eyes are green, light green, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
Your hair is brown with blonde streaks. Your height, nothing confirmed. Your feet size and your leg size, nothing confirmed. Pregnant. Currently, she is not expecting a baby. Weight
True.
loss. A few Google queries regarding this, but nothing has been confirmed. Like, I'm like, are you shitting me?
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that stuff? And it's okay because there's nothing bad there, but there's gonna obviously someone's gonna say they shouldn't ever but whatever. I'm just saying.
Wait, wasn't there one where you said like age and then guess like mid-40s, which I'm
Yeah,
not.
I have a bunch more that I just there's it's a whole page of stupidities that it's like guessing your age. They were guessing like your marriage, how much money you've made. There's all these. I know there's for guys. I don't know. I just never think of it, but it's kind of like no one's asking what my leg size are. No one's asking, my hair, my eyes, my weight. It's just how does that stuff bother you? And I don't want you to be the speaker of the group, but do you women talk about it? Is it something you guys joke about? Something that's frustrating?
I mean, it doesn't bother me because one, I don't look for it, right? I just don't. I don't. But it doesn't bother me because it's not like PJ. Who is that person who wrote it? Is it anyone I care about?
Well,
No.
it's that same person that said you're a moron and now you're friends with you're a sweeper and now you're friends with that person.
I'm not friends.
So,
I shouldn't have said that. Not friends, but it kind of ended up, what I wanted to kind of get out of it was like after he chirped me and I chirped him back, I kind of converted him and he was like, oh, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. But anyway, no, it doesn't bother me because I don't really look for it. I will say, I think you're the same. I think you got into this industry just for I mean, not hockey, but broadcast. You're great at talking to people. You're very likable. I'm not saying I am, but you're very likable. But I got into the business because I love what I do. I love hockey. I love talking and I like being around others and collaborating. I didn't get into the business to impress anyone, maybe my dad, but that's about it. I didn't get into the business to get fans. And so although I really appreciate the people that support me and Bruins Nation has like been overwhelmingly positive and I'm so thankful, I don't really care at the end of the day what people think. And yeah, when I was 23 or 24, if I saw that, like, yeah, of course it would have bothered me. But if you think about it, it's like, who wrote that? I don't know. Like probably not somebody who's got like a lot of, things going on for them, is really successful and like happy in what they're doing in life. If maybe this is just like a fan being like, hey, it's a Sophia page, but when it's negative stuff, where is that coming from? It's a place where I don't really care to go and I don't really care to interact because like somebody who's got like a job and a family and has hobbies and whatever doesn't have the time to write this kind of stuff. Again, if it's a fan page, that's cute. It's almost like, okay, that's cute. Someone's like, oh, she's 5'5" and this and that. But as soon as it turns negative, it's just kind of dumb. Does it bother people? Yes. Do we talk about it as women in the industry? Yeah, for sure. I think, over, wine once in a while, but not to the point where like you need to text about it or it consumes you. At least for me, it can't. Like Peach, you're one of the most loved and then also one of the, I wouldn't say hated because no one hated you, but like you
I
know,
could
you've
find
been
it.
called, I'm sure, like a plug and a fourth liner and this and that. Do you care? No?
I do, because I was better.
Yeah, sure you do.
I was misused. We got some goal scoring pucks up there.
Is
That's
one of
my.
them against Rudy? It's so sunny in my apartment.
I
can't
know
see.
it's. I was just about to make a comment.
Can I turn the blind down really quick?
Yes, I'll go ahead.
Okay.
It's a day in the life. Give me a. Wow, you got dressed up. So are you in your pajamas?
Sorry.
Thanks. There's the Christmas tree. Very nice. Obviously, the people that there. Thank you. Very dressed up. Thanks, Sophia. And
That's better, right?
much better. I was going to say something, but it's okay. Okay. What's a day in the life of Sophia now? So first of all, a day in life, because we are in COVID time. So what's a day in the life of Sophia now, and how have you had to pivot or alter things or adapt because of COVID?
Yeah, I'm really sad because I've never had a full normal year with the Bruins. I used to travel with them. I don't think I want to do that full time because it's very taxing, as you know, and with my age and what the goals I want from my life.
With your
No,
age.
it's not like,
No,
no,
I
I
was
mean,
gonna say.
I'm young, but I'm saying like it's hard to build connections in a new city when you're on the road all the time. So anyway, day in the life. Well, during the regular season, wake up every day, check the news.
Good. You wake up every day. Good. Start. Good.
Six,
Are you a coffee in the morning girl?
I'm trying to curb it. Okay, so this is a tea that I have because I'm
Good.
trying to go to green tea because
It's
coffee
thicker than
does
your
make
head. Can you put that beside your head? You're double. That is. I don't know if you have a small pumpkin, or that is a pakuti mini wadupe.
That means kiss my ass. Pocałuj mnie w dupie in Polish. I got it as a gift.
Nice.
Nice.
From your
So
dad?
green tea, but I've kind of been feeling a little bit under the weather. I'm fine, but I was like, all right, I need a coffee. So I had a coffee in here. I had a green tea, and I'm double fisting basically. Yeah.
Nice.
So coffee. Okay.
So day in life in Sophia. Yeah, it's all you.
Yeah. Wake up, coffee, catch up on NHL news on my phone, Bruin stuff. And then 6 days out of 7, because there's that one, mandated day off by the PA, you're at the rink because the Bruins will skate every day unless they're on the road, which I used to travel and be at the rink every day. So when they're on the road, I don't go to the rink, but I still am online Zooming with the coach, with Bruce Cassidy, and with whatever players they make available. So from like 10 to 2, you're doing that. And then I'll shoot a story on practice days. And on game days, I go back home, quick lunch. If I could squeeze in a workout, I'll do that, shower, and then go cover the game. So during the hockey season, I'm working 6 days a week. And then in the summers, it's been different every year because of COVID. It's really hard to predict, but that's when I use my vacation. I'll go home back to Canada and I'll do, kind of assignments a couple days a week. Like I said, news hits, highlights at Nesson, and that's about it. But Bruins season, Bruins every day except their day off.
So your green tea, your health nut stuff. You talked about working out. You talked about where you used to be to where you are today. On Instagram, you're moving forward with you've always wanted to do this, and you're now full blown health nut. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, I am a full blown health nut. I love working out. And when I was really young, when I was 20, I was really, 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 really sick. And I went to like every specialist in Ontario. I drove, hours to go see this doctor, that doctor, and no one could find out what was wrong with me. And eventually most of them were like, you're clinically you're depressed. And I was like, no, PJ, you know me. I'm like a very happy, bubbly person, but I had symptoms of depression. I was like tired. I didn't want to get out of bed. I always wanted to sleep. I was sluggish. I had low energy. And so they're like, yeah, you're depressed. Anyway, finally, after about a year of people trying to force antidepressants on me, I went to see a naturopath and a holistic doctor, which, as people in Canada know, is not covered by OHIP. My parents didn't come from a lot. So, at that age, I had to pay for it, and appointments were several $100s and testing was more. And I was making $8 an hour. And so it was like a big decision. I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put in all my money and do this. And within like 6 months, I lost like over 25 pounds. My skin issues went away. I was feeling so energetic. Turns out I had, food is medicine, whatever. I became obsessed with it then, but turns out I just had to like heal myself naturally through food and eliminating certain things and diet and lifestyle and all that kind of stuff. And I got my life back. And so since then I've been really, really, really passionate about it. And I just meet so many people that were in my position where they're like, they can't lose that extra weight, or they're always tired, or they don't have energy, and they don't know what to do. And yet they're pumping their bodies with like seemingly good for you things because that's how it's marketed, but they're not. And so
It is amazing when you look at, for people, if you look at the words now, the catchphrase is like a no gluten or something, or no trans fats. If you look on anything now, it's like bigger than the name almost. If it's hypothetically it's Doritos chips, which I'm just saying that, whatever. It's the first thing that came to my mind. It has no trans fats, no gluten, you know, like it's the catchphrases are almost bigger than the name right now. It is pretty crazy. It's all meant. But go ahead. You were exactly.
No, by the way, that's a great point. One of the people I follow, because I follow so many health experts, is saying if it has nutritional claims on the labeling, don't buy it, because that actually 95% of the time means it's not good for you when they have to like make health claims on it. So anyway, but yeah, no, like even like yogurt, like some yogurt you feed your kids has more sugar than a can of Coke, which is just crazy. But whatever. I have friends reach out to me. I don't feel good, this and that. And I myself have just healed so many in phase of my life myself through, natural, I guess, ways that, I decided just like to talk about it, because here in Boston, this, when I was in Toronto, I gave most of my free time to my parents who are elderly. My dad's ill. My mom takes care of him and works. And so I would give my free time to that. Or I was in a relationship in Toronto, or I had my friends here. I have good friends. I'm not in a relationship, but I don't travel. So I have all this spare time that I kind of started to feel very guilty of, like just useless. Like I'm not investing my time into someone right now, or something other than like going out, and like, ooh, that's important to go out, but like not that much. So I just decided I have this free time. I have this platform. Maybe I can help one or two people turn things around by the information that I've learned, studied, and have. And I'm a journalist, so I have these resources. I can interview these doctors. I can interview these nutritionists. So I'm trying to do that and maybe do something good. It's kind of like it's my hobby, and I'm putting it out online. Don't make fun of me for it.
Totally make fun of her for it.
Don't. That would actually hurt my feelings.
So,
are you gonna follow?
What's that?
Are you gonna follow my nutritional advice?
What's I follow? I'll try. I'm actually on my New Year's resolution right now, which is kind of, for me, we're getting there.
Tell me.
Well, I'm working slow down drinking, which is one thing. Slow down drinking. I have to walk 4 kilometers a day. I have to work out every day. A workout doesn't have to be an hour and a half. It just has to be a workout. I have to read minimum 10 pages a day, and I have to eat healthy.
How's it going though? For real?
It's going great. I look spectacular, don't I?
Well, I don't know. I see you just
say yes. This is
yes. You look great. You look great.
Rapid fire with Sophia Jurksztowicz. What's your guilty pleasure?
This is supposed to be rapid, right?
Yeah. Bissonette took an hour and a half just for this part. What's your rapid? So did Hirsch, for that matter. What is your guilty pleasure?
Okay, wait. Let's start again. Say rapid fire with Sophia Jurksztowicz.
Rapid fire with Sophia Jurksztowicz. Sophia, question number 1. We're gonna go through 10 of these. What is your guilty pleasure?
Honestly, I still don't know. Like home renovation shows. There.
That's not bad. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette.
You ought to know.
It's good because you can like screech in that one, and it's just like there's so much angst and anger. I love that one. It's good. It's good.
What's your last Google search?
Probably some. Honestly, probably something about intermittent fasting. It's not even that bad. There you go.
Okay, good. What is your last impulse buy?
Oh, clothing, workout clothing all the time.
Which celebrity annoys you the most? Is there a movie, actor, singer you don't like? It's just always in the social media that's talking about themselves.
Oh my God, yeah, but like
think of one.
Okay,
can't come back.
Yeah, you can't.
No. What? So, which celebrity annoys you the most? You know what people love? To me, what? Kanye West throws me off. Actually, that Kodak Black right now is up there with kind of. That's another story for another day.
Yeah, Kanye.
I don't know. I have a hard read on him. People love his music. I think people love him so much that I don't get the love.
Right. I mean, I think he's dealing with a lot of hate after like the Kim Kardashian breakup. Oh, Megan Fox and
Perfect. Okay, good. That's it.
her husband. Like they're just always licking each other's faces in
I
public.
don't know who that is. What is not a big deal to most, but it kind of tortures you?
What is not a big deal to most, but it
Yeah.
tortures me?
Yeah.
Give me examples of what people have answered. What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm just asking you. It's like, what's something that is like, it's nothing, but you drives you crazy. Like, I don't know. For me, it's people smoking with their windows down. I don't know. It's just like,
I see.
I don't know. Or people taking a peanut jar and it's a shared peanut jar and they keep putting their hands in it and then they eat their peanuts and then they put their hands back in the joint peanut jar, which everyone's sharing, instead of taking some peanuts and putting them on your plate or something.
I would say like just not polite people. Like if you hold the door open or like let them pass you and they just like blast through and you're like, you're welcome.
Have you been to China? You have to try it should plan it and try and get on an elevator there. It is the craziest thing. It is amazing.
I have been. It is crazy. You're right.
What world record do you think you have a chance of beating?
Having the most workout clothes.
You have that many?
Yeah. I constantly buy new sets. I'm like, oh, I love this set. And then I wear it 3 times. I'm like, I want a new one. It's bad. I got to clean it.
This is an issue that Sophia has, and I don't even know how she's going to answer this. And this is where people are going to judge you. What is your favorite all-time movie?
Oh, right. Why are people going to judge me? Tell them.
Well, because I was on Sophia for years. Just before she signed with Boston, I gave her a whole bunch of Boston movies to watch to give her a sense of like Mystic River. I actually forget the name of it right now. I want to say The Patriot, my Lord. The Matt Damon, who was it? Matt Damon, Marky Mark, Leo DiCaprio. The Whitey Bulger story.
Oh, yeah. I know which one. Yeah.
Anyways, I can't. It's driving me nuts. Anyways,
Black Mass.
No, Black Mass is actually the Whitey Bulger story. This is another one played by.
Departed.
Departed. Thank you.
Yes.
Departed. Yes. Because our song from the Dropkick Murphys, "A Ship Back to Boston," is in that song in that movie as well. So she's terrible with movies. Terrible.
Yes. But that comes from, so just so people know context, it comes from having immigrant parents who didn't like that. That's not a thing, like watching too much TV or an American movie or Canadian.
What is your favorite all-time movie?
Oh, whatever. Rapid fire. Okay. I don't know. The Notebook. Kill me. I know. It's just so cute. I love it.
What should not be on a Christmas table, Thanksgiving table that's there now?
None of it. I love it all. Keep it.
Is there anything you'd like to add to it?
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, no. It's perfect. Leave it. It's perfect.
Not even pickles? I think you can always throw pickles.
I do add pickles. I love pickles. I make my own.
You know what? I kind of skipped this before because we got rambling on, but who's your favorite Bruin? Ooh. This is not part of rapid fire, but this is actually a question I wanted to ask.
I mean, I can't answer it, but you can't. No, I mean, because the truth is, like, I will say, Peach, I've worked in a lot of locker rooms, as you know. Everyone talks about like the culture of the locker room in the Bruins. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but it's true. Oh my God. They're just such great guys and they're so respectful. They just get it. And I don't know if it was like that when you were there, but they are a different breed of hockey player. And when you guys come in, they adapt to that with the leadership. It's very real. And
starts at the top. Starts with Cam Neely, goes down to Don Sweeney, goes down to Cassidy, goes down to Bergeron. It was Chara. It goes down, Marchand, when he started off there to where he is today, Pasternak, they have the right people. McQuaid was there for a while, Dennis Seidenberg. They have the right people. It's not so much drafting the best player, it's drafting the right people. And I play with 4 teams, and that's one of the reasons why I love that organization the most is my longest tenure there, but I still have people in all the other teams. Boston just drafts the right people.
They're the best. And I'll answer it this way. The most fun interviews I have are with Brad Marchand, of course. So Marshy's like just jokes to interview. I love interviewing him.
Theirs was the last question. That was a bonus question that I never really asked you before I wrap up. So who wins the cup this year?
I mean, I have to say Boston. I wasn't looking good at the start of the year, but like, have you seen them the last 6 games? And
what are they? Tuukka Rask coming back
tonight? Well, today is.
Well, we're kind of telling everyone when this is by you saying that tonight.
January, it's not going to be
15th. Yeah, we're not supposed to say that because it's not going to be out for a couple of weeks when the Olympics start.
Oh.
So, yeah.
He's back.
He's back.
He's been back.
He's
He's
been
back.
back. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
get that out. Yeah.
Anyways, so love you for being you,
I
and
don't want this to end. Can we keep going?
we can keep going. I don't know how much tape this goes on for. Like, I don't know. Like,
No.
I can go like, okay, this is an interesting, really interesting one for you.
Yeah.
And I'm stuck with this myself. Have you followed all the Evander? We're done, by the way. And if this Zoom tape runs out, I'm sorry about this. I'll just throw you some stuff that's in my mind.
Mhm.
Have you followed all the Evander Kane stuff?
A little bit, like the fake vax card and then this and that. Yeah.
The stories about his wife, the stories about gambling. There's just been like so many stories about the fake vax card, the story about going to the States. There's a lot of it. And he is an amazing player, like an amazing player.
Mhm.
And this is almost where people get kind of stuck. And there's all kinds of rumors. By the time this is probably going to come back, he's playing with the team. But as we do this today. He's not with the team right now. So much is about culture, right? I don't know why teams would be willing to sacrifice their culture for a better player.
I don't think they will. When you said by the
I
time
think,
he won't be with the team. He won't be.
Oh, well, he's rumored to be going to Edmonton by the time this conversation is going to actually go to air. So,
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't think that people would want to pick that up, especially in hockey. Like you said, would you be willing to sacrifice the culture? What's the culture like in the Edmonton locker room? I know it was a mess for years. Is it fine? I mean, they were doing well. They're kind of struggling again, aren't
they're
they?
struggling again. They're struggling a lot again. That's why they
Yeah.
need some help. Favorite Boston athlete that's not a Bruin? How about favorite sport? Favorite sport? Are you a Pats fan?
Yeah, I'm becoming one. Like I didn't
Yeah.
watch a lot of football in Canada, to be honest with you, and I will admit that. But yeah, I mean, why don't we say Mac Jones? It's fun. I like the story. The hype's fun. It's fun going out in the city when he's playing. Mac Jones.
So you have to pick Tampa Bay Bucks or the Pats. Which team are you picking?
The Pats.
Just checking. I like the Bucks.
Oh yeah. I see. Because
I was a Pats fan for a long time, super long time. I still am. But
did you wait? When did you play? I'm trying to think when you played. You didn't play when Brady was here, right?
yes. I don't want to brag, but I actually had field passes to go watch the new stadium opened up, and I was sidelined. And one of my craziest, I talked about athletes that are, one of the coolest things that I saw was I saw it was the Pats opening new farm, Mr. Kraft coming down. I think it's the Prime Minister of China. Is that what they have over there? Premier Prime Minister of China came onto the field as well. The security was crazy. One of the coolest things was in warm-up, Tom Brady stands there. And so we're talking. I think I'm there with Greg Hill from
Greg Hill, WEI.
Yeah, WEI.
Yeah.
So, and they're doing these sideline runs down the side where the wide receivers just do a little couple yard sprint, slow down, and they're like this. And Tom Brady's talking to his quarterback coach at the time. Sorry, I don't want to get too far from the mic, but he's talking to his quarterback. So the guys run down, they catch the ball, they throw it back to the quarterback coach, or Tom Brady doesn't have to catch it, hurt his fingers. And then the quarterback coach just throws it to Tom. And the same thing's going on with the backup quarterback on the other side. So the two coolest things, one of the three coolest things that are, the two of them are with the Pats, are one of them was like Tom Brady's not even looking. These guys are running 40-yard sprints down the sideline, and he's like talking like, and just like one after another, just throwing a ball like this. And the guys are running, they go, then they slow down and they just do this. And it just falls right in their hands. Time after time after time after time. Like we see them under duress every time, right? There's a 300-pound linebacker chasing them down, and he still makes these throws. But here he's in warm-up, just kind of that was crazy. And the other thing was when the game starts, they're doing like a sweep around where the quarterback throws like to a wide receiver who's coming behind the running backs, and everyone's kind of running towards our sideline. And here I am, 5'10", 195, and I'm one of the fourth line physical players on the Boston Bruins. And yet there's these football players that are probably still 25 yards from me, but they're running towards me.
Oh.
And they are so big.
Oh yeah,
fast.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
And then, of course, they turn up at the last second. But I can't tell you how much I shit my pants. These guys are. The camera does not do it justice. Neither does sitting in a stadium that's 400 yards from the field.
Yeah.
Seeing these guys run and hit each other at the speed that they do is unbelievable. And the sounds that the cameras do not pick up. Ooh,
Yeah.
like every hit. I mean,
Yeah.
it is an amazing sport, and to see it that close is pretty awesome. And seeing Tom Brady just be that chillax and kind of just like, it was pretty cool. It was
I gotta
really
get
cool.
that's on my bucket list. I haven't been to an NFL game yet, so that's on my bucket list.
Well, by the time this is done, everyone that's watching this, can you please get Sophia
All
Jurksztowicz?
right, hold on. There's clearly something going on. Hey, this is City Living in Boston. There you go. Okay, go on. Yes. By the time this is done, I'll go.
Someone's gonna send. We're gonna start a GoFundMe for Sophia Jurksztowicz. Actually, it's not a GoFundMe. Someone's gonna take her to a damn game.
Yeah.
Someone will start this. Someone's gonna take Sophia to a football game next year, and we'll go with us. It's not even a bidder. It's just who can be the nicest person. And we're gonna do a competition. And I'm coming down, Soph. You and I are
Can
gonna go to the
Michelle
game.
go? Can Michelle and I go? Why don't the three of us go?
Well, then we need someone to get us 3 tickets, and we gotta hang out with them.
You and your podcast, you could do it.
I'm in. I'm doing it next. Well, the season doesn't start till the end of the hockey season, so we'll have to do it at the start of next season. But we're in. Misha's in
Okay.
for sure. Misha's going to be the
Okay.
one that's going to be fixing this and putting all the beep, beep, beeps in there.
Honestly, but by the way, you've done a lot for me. I know this is like, well, we'll wrap because you're people watching are like, what are you talking about? You've done a lot for me. You've been great. But introducing me to Mish is the greatest thing you've ever done. I'm very happy. Very happy.
You're very happy. There,
Yeah,
Misha's
nicest thing you've ever done.
my boss. She's my CMO. She kind of runs everything. She's actually brilliant.
She's not just your boss. She's a boss. She's a boss.
She better edit this out now because that's just
No,
kind of.
the interview's gonna start. She's gonna cut it and it's gonna like start with this.
Sophia, Bruins Nation, keeping you. Love you. People in Boston, love
too.
you. You're the best. Bruins Nation is very lucky to have you. And merci beaucoup pour ça. And I'm happy you kept the Jurksztowicz going, but now it's a drinking game.
Now it's a drink. Okay, well, collaborate on that. Merci, PJ. Where can I can retweet this eventually, right? Or repost this?
Yes, when we put it up. We're gonna put it up.
Okay. Okay.
Peace, Soph.
Okay, bye.
I have to stop.
I'm gonna call you.
Oh shit. Don't.
What?
No, there it is. Oh,
What happened?
I don't know where the
Oh, I have a UPS package.
recording button just go. Stop the recording. I have to stop the recording.